Hey, what's up everybody? In this video, we're gonna take a look at the second pickup capsule for the month of January. In this pickup capsule, we do have 6 different tsums that you could get, and 2 of them are limited tsums, so they will go away if you don't get them in this pickup capsule. Well, they'll eventually come back in a future pickup capsule or selection box, but they will go away. The other 4, you could actually get them in the current premium box. So if you do want to get Snow White, Pocahontas, Captain Hook, or Sulley, then you could still get them in the premium box. So let's take a look at the 6 tsums that we have for this pickup capsule. First, we have 1 copy of Snow White, 3 copies of Pleakley, 2 copies of Scrooge, 3 copies of Pocahontas, 3 copies of Captain Hook, and 3 copies of Sulley. So which ones are good, you might ask? Well, I would highly recommend you to try to get all 3 copies of Sulley because he is a really good tsum for making big bubbles. So if you have any missions that require you to make big tsums, then Sulley is a perfect one for that. Also, Scrooge is really good for coins as well. His ability will earn you extra coins. So if you need a tsum that earns you a decent amount of coins, then Scrooge is a good option along with Captain Hook. Captain Hook at skill level 6 is competitive to Scrooge, so both of those are good coin earners. The other 3 tsums, which is Snow White, Pleakley, and Pocahontas, aren't necessarily that great, so I would recommend you to pass on those unless you could clear the pickup capsule. But just like every pickup capsule, if you have 450,000 coins saved up, I would recommend you to try to clear this pickup capsule, given that there are some decent tsums in here, and if you're able to get all 15 tsums and clear the pickup capsule, you will end up with the last prize, which is a skill ticket, and that's really hard to come by, so I do recommend you to get the skill ticket if you can. Alright, so let's jump into it to take a look at these tsums. The very first one, we have Snow White from the Snow White series. Her ability description is tap the dwarves to clear surrounding tsums. I'm currently playing her at skill level 6, so the amount of dwarves that will show up is 7, which is perfect because she has 7 dwarves. And one of the strategies that I will recommend to use when you are using Snow White is try to clear the bubbles from top to bottom if you can. And if you pay close attention, every single time you pop a dwarf, a bubble will be made. And then another thing to make a note of is that center dwarf will be the biggest one out of them all. So one thing you should play around with is try different sequence of popping the bubbles because they will yield different outcomes. You might want to try popping the middle one first because that's the most important one, and then go from top to bottom, or you might want to try to go from bottom to the top. Ideally, you want to avoid going in a random pattern, and usually when you go out of sequence, what that means is you're going to get less chains, which means less coins. So try to avoid doing that. But speaking of coins, at the end of this gameplay for Snow White at skill level 6, I ended up with 1,997 coins. So not that great for coins and also not that great for score. It's okay for combos, especially if you are looking for a combo maker, but there are definitely better tsums out there, so I am a pass on Snow White. Next, we have Pleakley from Lilo and Stitch. The ability description for Pleakley is Pleakley puts on woman's clothes. Pleakley dresses as woman, also clears surrounding Tsum Tsum. I'm currently playing Pleakley at skill level 5, so I need a total of 14 copies to charge up the ability. And the score multiplier is going to be multiplied by 2.6. So as you level up Pleakley, you'll need less tsums to activate the ability, and then the score multiplier is also going to increase. So one cool thing about Pleakley is that it's really easy to make a long chain because not only does Pleakley clear itself, but will also clear surrounding tsums. So if you need a tsum that clears a lot of tsums at once, then Pleakley is a good option. One of the strategies to using Pleakley is don't rush into activating his ability. What you want to do is make sure that on the screen you have additional Pleakleys to chain after you activate the ability. So even though your ability might be charged up, you may want to wait a little bit before you activate the ability, so that way you can make a really long chain. In theory, you could actually wipe out the entire screen and make a 45 clear if you have enough Pleakley on the screen. And take a look at this gameplay right here, or this demonstration. I did wait a little bit before I activated the ability and was able to get a chain of 37. So that is something that you want to do when you are using Pleakley. At the end of this gameplay, at skill level 5, I ended up with 1,357 coins. So not great for coins, but could be good for chains. And it's not going to be great for score either unless you have Pleakley at a higher level. Next, we have Scrooge from Mickey and Friends. The ability description for Scrooge is he will clear a vertical line of Tsum Tsum and make it rain coins. So I really like this description. It's pretty cool that he's going to make it rain with coins. But ultimately what will happen is that he jumps in from the right top area and dives into the center with a lot of coins. So every time you activate his ability, additional coins will splatter everywhere and it automatically gets added to your coin count. So I'm currently playing Scrooge at skill level 6, so the coin earnings are going to be extra large. So the higher you go, the more coins you're going to get per game. So if you take a look at the animation, when Scrooge dives into the pool of coins, you'll see it splash everywhere and that coins is extra large. If you do play at the lower levels, those will be a little bit less. But regardless, Scrooge is a Tsum that you would use to get a lot of coins. So if you are looking for a coin earner and you haven't been playing this game for long, Scrooge is a good option because it's a really easy Tsum to use and it takes a very short amount of time to get through one gameplay. The strategy to using Scrooge is very simple. All you need to do is just make sure that the right side of the screen and also the middle area has a lot of Tsums before you activate his ability, just to make sure that all his path of diving into the pool of coins have Tsums, and you'll be able to get a lot of coins in this gameplay. At the end of this gameplay, Scrooge at skill level 6, I was able to get 3,095 coins, so pretty good for a really easy Tsum to use. Next, we have Pocahontas from the Pocahontas series. Her ability description is all Tsum Tsum connected while the time is stopped are cleared as one chain. I'm currently playing Pocahontas at skill level 6 and I need a total of 20 Pocahontas clear to activate her ability. The animation is going to last 5 seconds at skill level 6, but if you have her at a lower level, it's going to require you a little bit more to activate her ability, and also the animation or the skill time is going to drop as well. So in a nutshell, what Pocahontas' ability does is during her ability, the time will stop. So you'll see that the play clock on the top left hand side will stop. But what you could do is you could chain all the Tsums at once, and every single time you chain them, that will count as one big chain. So anything that you chain during the pause time will count as one. And something to note as well is that you could chain from far away as well. So if you already cleared a bunch of Tsums like in the center area, that is considered a blank area. So what you could do is you could connect areas from top to bottom as well, even though they're not necessarily physically touching. So imagine as if that they are falling and that they will eventually be touching. So that's how it works. So at the end of this gameplay, Pocahontas at skill level 6, I was able to get 2,083 coins. So as you could tell, Pocahontas is not going to be great for coins, but might be good for chains. Like if you need to make a really long chain because her ability does pause time, it's going to be really easy for you to make a really long chain. But other than that, Pocahontas is not going to be great, therefore I don't recommend you to try to max out Pocahontas. Next, we have Captain Hook from Peter Pan, and Captain Hook's ability description is clears a vertical line of Tsum Tsum. I'm currently playing Captain Hook at skill level 6, so the skill range is going to be extra large. And Captain Hook's ability is very simple. All he does is clear a big area down the middle, and it's going to be a vertical clear. So there are two ways of using Captain Hook. You can either wait until the Tsums all drop, or what you could do is before you hit the ability button, pop a magic bubble, and what that will do is it will clear any of the Tsums that are off the screen as well. So if you take a look at where the coin count is as well as where the score is, Tsums actually fall from that area. So if you pop a bubble, that will trigger the drop of Tsums right away versus if you are just clearing it. So if you pop that bubble right before you activate the ability, Tsums are already technically in the coin count area as well as where the score is. So that alligator pop will also clear that area as well. So Captain Hook is really for coin earning. So if you need a Tsum to get good coins, Captain Hook is also another good option for you. Captain Hook at skill level 6, at the end of this particular gameplay, I was able to get 2,974. So I think that with some patience and with some good strategy, you should be able to break the 3,000s. Alright, and finally we have Sulley from Monsters Inc. And Sulley is a really important Tsum, especially if you don't have a Tsum yet that makes big Tsums on the game, because we do get some of those missions sometimes where you need to get X amount of big Tsums per game. Sometimes it's like 8 or even 15, and those could be really difficult if you don't have the right Tsum. So Sulley is a Tsum that is perfect for those type of missions. Sulley's ability description is Big Sulley Tsum Tsum Appear, and it's really simple as that. I'm currently playing Sulley at skill level 6, so anywhere between 4 to 5 big Sulleys is going to show up on the screen. And one of the ways that you want to use Sulley is try to chain all the big Sulleys when you activate the ability, because when you do that, it will trigger another ability to be activated back to back. So you could technically get over 100 big tsums in one game if you play fast enough. You see here, I got caught up there because I wasn't able to clear all the big Sulleys. So it's not going to be perfect every single time, but if you can, take a look at it here, the chain will continue to go and you could have abilities back to back to back. So you could definitely make a lot of big tsums, and look how easy it is to make big tsums. So if you don't have a tsum that makes big tsums yet, then you definitely should try to get one copy of Sulley. We do have another big tsum maker that is coming out later this month, so stay tuned for that. But at the end of this gameplay for Sulley at skill level 6, I ended up with 1,251 coins, and as you could tell, Sulley is not necessarily good for coins. You're really going to be using Sulley for his big tsum ability to make big tsums and get through those difficult missions that you may be struggling with. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this pickup capsule. I hope that you guys found this video helpful in determining which tsums are good from this pickup capsule. And as a recap, I would recommend getting Sulley, Captain Hook, and Scrooge from this pickup capsule. And if you guys would like to see more Tsum Tsum content just like this, where I give out tips and tricks and do Tsum reviews and even do leaks at the end of the month, then definitely don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.